Everybody, good afternoon. Well, it looks like it's almost night, but anyway, I had to bring in some material there to get this ground to kind of level out because it collects too much mush. But yeah, so that's my job, to rake all this out level there and get that sorted out. Yeah, well, I've been doing a lot of things there. What I wanted to show you here is the Ditch Witch. See if you like the new color. This is what I think I'm going to go with. And I got the tires on and done, and I think I like that yellow. You know, like, and the further you get away from it, the nicer it looks. You know, so I wouldn't mind maybe doing the whole machine in that color. But once it gets dirty, it's going to really look dirty. But anyway, we don't want to get it too dirty. Anyway, I should lift up these implements. This thing, man, I'll tell you, when I keep telling you it's $1 million machine, I'm not kidding you. And it does lots of things, right? This is the creep speed. And then this is all the maneuvers there in case somebody needs a pattern for their, 65 or under there. That might be the same as far as these handles are concerned. And that's for the plow. That's for the PTO. Okay? So anyway, I haven't had this thing going in a bit, so see what happens. It's like a cobwebs. It is cobwebs. This thing's, man, $1 million machine. Make sure it's neutral. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not on blocks now. First click of the key. You don't really want to touch these too much here. As far as when they're idling, you want to let them get the temperature, right? Let them idle until they get the temperature, and then you can do whatever, right? But circulating the pump and all that stuff, right? But when it sits around, everything gets lazy. That's the thing about it being an 88. So, and I found one ram leaking, and of course it's on the implement I don't use. See, it's got a bit of a leak there. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to cap this, because I don't use that. And then if I need to use it, then I'll uncap it and put it on and use it, right? I just don't want it pissing hydraulic fluid all the time. But yeah, that yellow's a little bright, but I kind of like it. It's just kind of a sample wheel. Looks funny now, doesn't match all the rest of the wheels, but I don't like this yellow too much there, because once it gets faded, it kind of loses its glow, per se. And I want this machine to have its glow and glory back. And I'm even going to put the original decals on this backhoe there, because it's a different model. Every part of this thing is like a different implement, right? Like, everything's designed to come apart, right? You can take stuff off, you can put stuff on, blah, blah, blah. And the same thing with the trencher, right? There's all your mains, right? You can disconnect all this, you can disconnect all that, you can disconnect all this, take it all off, take all this weight off, run a PTO, right? Just run a shaft, run bush cutter, run snow blower, run whatever you want. This thing, I'm telling you, man, it's so versatile. I've never seen anything like it. And when I did see this thing on Marketplace, I had to buy it. So, well, me, I don't know. So I bought it. Pretty pricey, but I wouldn't want to try to replace it at today's cost. Like if I was to replace this thing at today's cost, it would be phenomenal if I had to replace this thing at today's cost. This machine was over 80 grand in 1988. Now, can you imagine how much 80 grand was in 1988? Well, I'll tell you what. This machine was pretty expensive. It was probably pretty near 100 grand decked the way it is right now. So the machine itself was 88 grand or 80 grand, something like that. And then with all these other implements, like the vibratory plow, that would be an extra implement. The backhoe, extra implement, right? When you start adding all this stuff on, those arms, those legs, it's part of that backhoe setup, right? So that adds for a lot, right? You try and go buy a backhoe right now, see what you're going to pay for it. You know, you try to go buy a trencher right now, see what you're going to pay for it. Let alone a vibratory plow. I don't even know if you can get those. I don't know if they even make that stuff anymore. But, you know, same thing. Plow, you know, you buy the setup alone. Go buy a mini excavator. It's not going to do what this does. This is 65 horsepower. A mini excavator is what? 1.5 tons and 20, 30 horse something maybe. I don't know. But anyway, all I know is you can't beat this thing, man. So that's why I'm going through it. I'm going to just do everything. But I think I like that color. I don't know. I hope everybody else does too. It's going to be pretty bright. You might need sunglasses to look at it. But I'll tell you what. I find that's a fun yellow. And even from far away, it's going to look snappy. This machine is going to look really snappy. But anyway, I'm going to go through it and get everything done. Any leaks, I'll fix any leaks. And if any issues, whatever, I'll find them. Anyway, folks, I thought I'd make you a little video. That's all I'm up to there. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that, and I got to do this and that and everything else. So then after that, I'm going to pull the Massey Ferguson out, get all that ready, and fabricate that snowblower to it. And yeah, lots of things on the go, folks. Anyway, my ducks and chickens, the ducks are, look at the duck chasing the chickens. Jake, what are you doing? Jake, you chasing those chickens? You chasing them chickens? Are they making you mad? Look at them go. Everybody's in a tiff. That's a funny thing when you got a yard like this, right? It's all it is. It's entertainment, right? See, but you look in the background. There's the other ducks. Everybody hangs out in the lawn in the yard, and you know that's what they do. They come out in here and they forage, and that was another, you know, good thing about doing what I did here, right? Because now they get top-notch feed here, man. You know, so anyway, there's the big generator. There's the hook up into the cabin, and basically this is not a big deal there. Like this box, I think it cost me around $100 or something, right? And it's got its own fuse breaker, this, that, reset, da-da-da. It's got its own fuse kicked in, and I just wired it in there, and that box runs the whole cabin. And the generator I'm using here is a really shitty one, and I'll never give this generator a good review because it sucks. It is a Benchmark 4650 watt, 3600 running watts. This thing was on sale. It goes on sale all the time because nobody buys them, nobody likes them. Anyway, I don't like it. It's $500, you know, plus tax, blah, blah, blah. And the thing's pretty much brand new. And it's a pile of crap. Anyway, I don't like it. It's junk. Don't buy one. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think of this grass? Man, this thing here is just growing like wildfire. This plum tree, man. This plum tree. Next year, this thing's gonna just be loaded and with plums. That's awesome. And these two here, this one here is a pear tree. This is a pear tree. This one kind of funky here. It's got a left thumb sticking out there. My grapes, same thing. They'll produce a lot next year with these vines growing like the way they are. I'm just gonna keep vining them all over the place. I don't know. They'll just travel. And this is apple. This one's a little bit on the slow side. This one's doing a little bit better, and that one's doing a bit better. And I think it has to do with light. I need to take down probably some of this trees. And this is basically just a big oval because my trail runs in behind here. So I could take a lot of this down, maybe clear in another 40 feet. This would do wonders for my trees and my greenhouse. Well, my greenhouse is going to get lots of sun anyway, but next year, this is when this will be up and running. But, you know, this fence stuff is pretty tough. Like it's strong stuff, and it'll hold the snow load, right? This thing here is just going crazy. I should come in here and trim some plants. Yeah, it's just budding. It's just budding up nice. I can come in here and trim some of these extra leaves off. That'll be probably a benefit to it because, then I can concentrate on just budding. Because all these leaves take up way too much energy. Yeah, they absorb some sun and this and that, but you can still leave some. You just don't have this many. This thing looks like a freaking wild bush now. But anyway, I can smell it. It's very strong. And of course, we got Jake. Jake, the duckin'. No, actually, he's sleeping now with the two older girls. I got rid of that other Drake I was telling you about, remember? And now he stays with these guys. But now, even the babies, I got them into the pond now. By getting rid of that other Drake, I was able to put the babies in the pond. So now there's the older girls. There's the two ladies. And then here, I believe I got 2 ladies and 4 males. So these 4 males, they'll be like the Pink Panther exit stage left. I'll send them to the Filipinos. I'll put them up on the marketplace first, maybe in some of my groups there, and I'll post them. I don't want nothing for them really. I just don't want any interbreeding and stuff going on, right? So we don't want none of that. So basically, I have a khaki roan mix and a pure khaki Drake. And then there's 4 Drakes over there. But now I have 11 more coming. So those 4 males, those 4 Drakes, those young ones, they're going to be going. And then whatever I get with the new batch, they're going. Right? The males, all the males. So keep the females for egg, because they're egg layers, right? They're going to give you an egg a day. And duck eggs are a big demand. So yeah, anyway, I brought in this stuff here. It's kind of like a dirt gravel mix. It's all freaking expensive, man. Everything's expensive. But, I needed it. This thing was a mush hole every time I wanted to walk through here. And when you're taking care of the chickens and ducks, I put the feed back out here in a barrel, in a garbage can thing there. I use one of those just to cover it up, and it takes up too much space in my shed. So that's not what I have that shed for. Basically, what I have that shed for, you see, this is going to be my powerhouse. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I run all my internet and security all up into the top of the shed and put it into the vent, so I don't put no holes in the wall there. I keep it nice and basic, simple, without damaging a whole bunch of shit. And it's nice and neat and tidy. And then everything's going to sit on basically this wall, and the wires are going to travel across the top of the roof, and I'll have lighting and stuff in here. And then my battery bank's going to go in this side. And then the wind turbine is going to go up here. The wind turbine is going to go up here, and the battery bank's going to sit in this corner. Okay, the tower has to sit the way it is right now. Like, I had the guy in and put me a box, and I'm going to clear these big trees because it's starting to block my signal. Like, these trees are going probably a foot a year, 2 years. And now my signal was great until, this year, right? So they're now growing to the point where my signal's being hampered because it goes that way. So that's my antenna right there. That's 20 feet. Just that antenna, not the building. The building's 8 feet, I believe 10 feet high. And then that's 20 feet. So that antenna's 30 feet. Hence where I want to put that wind turbine. That wind turbine's 400 watts. That's not even hooked up right now. I don't have it hooked up. I'm getting ready to take and move all these panels to the top of this roof, because the sun rises from here and then it just goes this way. And then it sets over there. So I'm going to be clearing these trees. I'm going to be making a front yard out of this. I'm going to be making a dining, outdoor kitchen, patio, all that area right in here. So that's the plan for that. So let's get rid of these. See, a lot of these pines, they're infested with, ants and pine beetle and budworm. And nobody took care of this thing. They harvested it, they raped it, and then they left it for shit, right? And I'm going to change that. I'm going to fix that, because this is a nice place. And it's peaceful, I have to say. My closest neighbor is 1.5 kilometers away that way. Anyway, yeah. But other than that, no, I'm just pissing around with this and pissing around with that. That machine took a lot of my time. That machine's taking a lot of my time right now because I want to make sure everything's right, right? And I I just got it. I just got the tires back on it, so I'm off tomorrow. I'm gonna jack this all up, raise it all up, block all this up, block everything, and then I'm gonna see if I can't make some kind of a fork, something to pound out that E clip. It's a big giant E clip, holds on onto the bottom of the bushing that holds that ram in place. It's just an E clip on the top, E clip on the bottom, and then the bushing in the middle. So yeah, I'm gonna make a tool to maybe smash those out, because it has to be kind of long on this side, because you have to maneuver around all those hoses and stuff. So it has to be a long type unit to get in there. So almost like a ball joint fork or something, right? Like something along those lines. But I don't think the ball joint forks are that wide. That bushing, I bet you, is 1.5 inches, right? I mean, this shit's built tough. Like you look at the size of that hole. That's 1.5 inches, if not 2 inches. No, it's 1.5 inches. That's definitely 1.5 inches. So that bushing's 1.5 inches, right? It holds that ram into place. And those E-clamps, then they're 1.5 inches opening on them, and then they're probably closer to 2 inches as far as the whole diameter of it, the whole circumference. Like the diameter is probably, anyway, doesn't matter. Those clips got to come out, man. That's a pain in my ass. And that's what that is. That's a clip. That's one of those clips right there. It's a big freaking E-clip, and the tool to actually extract those is $140. And right now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna buy one, because hell, man, every time I gotta work on this machine, I don't want to be asking for somebody or somebody's help or paying somebody else to do something I can do. So I'm gonna break down and buy a $140 fucking tool that removes C clamps that I'll probably maybe use, I don't know, half a dozen times in my lifetime, as far as I'm concerned. These things just don't break. These things don't break down. You know what I mean? This thing here's a beast. It just does not break down. And the only thing I can say about that is the reason why it doesn't break down. And breakdown and breaking is two different things. Like I broke that. Okay, that's not breaking down. It's broken down per se, but technically I broke that. But the machine itself, everything that operates that, everything that's still there is functioning. Like I didn't break anything as far as anything is concerned. It just, the weld came apart, and that's that. So yeah, these machines, like I said, you don't replace them. You just keep fixing them when they need to be fixed, and that's not very freaking often. I might do something better with those teeth. Those teeth kind of remind me of a toothless person, or somebody with bad teeth. It's kind of like missing stuff, right? Like those caps. I don't even think I can get those caps that size anymore. I think the caps that they make now are really big. I think this is an 18-inch bucket, right? So this thing does crazy things. This plow is 6 or 8 way. I can't remember. And same with this backhoe. It does any maneuvers that any other backhoe does, right? And it's got good healthy rams on it. And all these rams, they're kind of generic. They're all the same, right? So the only thing that's different on these rams, because they're all generic, they're all the same. They're just welded differently, different ends, like different bushings. Like this is a smaller bushing than the one down there, right? So anyway, they just, they built it to spec, right? Certain implements are supposed to be so strong, so hence the bushing size. Anyway, same with this, the same rams. This is the same ram, the one that's broken. This is welded, but this has a bigger bushing. Like it's bushing onto this. It's part of the frame. This bushing is on this frame. This ram gets taken out from here. Okay, when you put it down, it's taken out from here, and then you can move this up. Okay, and then you just hammer this off. It's got a ring in here, a seal, or not a seal, but a C-clip or whatever it is. And yeah, that's how they'll remove those. Anyway, and the older the machine, it usually is, the tougher it is to remove stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, even the bolts that I took out of here, even though they're rusted and shit like that, they were all loose and easy to come out. Like, this machine has and was been maintained flawlessly. This machine has been maintained flawlessly. Even dated all the filters and everything. Like, this machine is dated. Everything is recorded. Everything has been its whole life. I know its whole life, right from '88, right? So, and I'm the third owner. So that's the first owner before me. He had it. He's the one who actually had it before I got it. So he had it before the city of Halifax had it, and then I got it from the city of Halifax, because that's why it's all yellow like this. They painted it like this. This is their idea of a joke. This machine comes in a really ugly burnt orange, burnt burgundy or maroon type color, and it's ugly as shit. But that's what it was back in '88. So I can see why they painted it. I just don't know if I would have done it in yellow. I don't know. I was thinking more, red and black type schematic. But you can let me know what you think in the comments. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and I love it. I just love it. But man, for me to add more work to myself, whatever, it's okay. But what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to take that 12 by 20, I'm going to put it here. It's going to have a nice solid base now and stuff. I'm going to run it over with this a few times, get everything packed down. I'm going to remove all this shit from here. Boom, boom, boom. Put the water collection now on the back of the cabin. So, yeah, this will be a nice flat pad. And that's what's going to happen there. And then I'll put the shelter up, and then I have a place for this. And then this come spring there, when this comes out of that freaking shelter, that comes out of that garage, it's going to look like $1 million machine. You're not going to believe what this thing's going to look like. So that's my plan, okay? And I got a little stove I'm going to put over in that shed to keep me warm in here. Okay? I got the pipe in behind the cabin, but it's like a little camp stove, right? Just that thing there. I think I got suckered in, but I think I paid $150 for that, a couple of years ago. But it's got a bit of rust, whatever. It's still solid though. It's not rusted out or rotten or anything. Just that's what I'll use to heat that. But yeah, these ducks are just cruising around. That's my babies. You can't believe how big they are. Look at the size of them, and that's because they're a Rowan mix, right? Rowan's a big duck. And another thing is I'm getting 14 Muscovies this week that are only about 4 weeks old. So I'll have 14 Muscovies besides these ducks. But these babies are not babies, and they're huge, right? These, and the males, they're obviously males, but they're going to be big. They're going to be big ducks. They're going to be bigger than Jake. I think they're going to be bigger than Jake. But they're big ducks. So I got a chicken running and see what she's thinking. She's going to get something from me. Maybe not. Maybe she wants to go in the back run. I don't know. Hard to say. You want to go in there, chicken? You want to go in there? Who didn't let you in the back run? You got to go all the way through the whole coop. That's kind of ridiculous. I think it's because it's the hue of the sky right now. It looks like it's getting nighttime there. It's kind of fooling them into going to bed. So that's probably what she wants to do. She probably wants to go to bed. But yeah, I'm going to take some of that too. A couple shovel loads there, and I got a couple potholes kind of thing in my driveway I'm going to fix up. But just to give you an idea, when I say it's damp in here, and it an RV is not something you can stay in permanently living this lifestyle. I'll tell you that right now. It's temporary. It's temporary, and it's going to give you 5-6 years max if you buy like a used one. So that's my experience, right? So you see the moisture here. You see this green. This is almost like a fungi, not like it's like a I don't know. It's kind of like a water effect kind of fungi. It's like algae, okay? And yeah, it's like this atmosphere is wet, so you gotta keep all your stuff dry as can, because if you don't, it's just gonna wreck shit. It just wrecks everything. So, you know, that's what I'm working at right now. I'm just trying to keep everything dry, keep all my birds happy, keep everything happy. But I'm concentrating more on ducks right now because I'm getting a big positive response on the duck eggs. Right? So, and I prefer ducks over the chickens, but I like the chickens, and you know what I mean. I like chicken eggs and stuff too, and I got other people that like chicken eggs and stuff. So I'll keep a flock of chickens as well. But you know, I'm gonna have I'll probably keep just one drake and the rest hens. And then Jake's a different bloodline, so I'll keep him and get rid of all these other drakes, and then I can hatch whatever eggs that come out of the hen that I match with him, right? So he's going to mount them all anyway, throughout the day and on the pond and stuff. But when I really want to know the eggs going to be fertile and stuff, I'll put him with 2 or 3 hens in one enclosure, and then I'll know, right? Then I'll know. But yeah. Anyway, my old tractor is getting on years now. It's still back there, but I put a little dent in the hood. And, it's starting to look a little weathered. But hey, man, that's $1 million machine there, right? Too, a Class 2 tractor there. It's a Massey Ferguson 10. It's got the old iron block Tecumseh in it there. It's solid state ignition. Old school, and yeah, and it's got the matching snowblower, but I got to restore that. That's my plan over the winter as well as this, right? I'll sandblast them, and because I got a sandblaster, and I got a big compressor right there, right? That compressor easily maintain 100 pounds all day long. So yeah, I'm gonna sandblast all this shit. I got 100 feet of. That's my turbine cable, but my air hose is easily 100 feet, so it'll easily go to the backside of that shelter that I put there. But I really need that foundation. But anyway, folks, I'm going to let you go, and we'll catch you on the next one.